Alright, everyone.
Good evening,
Hello
ladies and
and
gentlemen. Oh, wait. Who's going to do the intro?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Doesn't
Good
matter.
evening, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. I'm Spastique.
And I'm Roy Elliott, or as my new handle, or whatever you want to call it is, I'm now Chippy Chen.
I'm Abster266, and it's story time, y'all!
We also maybe have Super Mario Mini Witch 3 and Norin Echo, possibly. And we're going to be doing a live critique of Mind the Gap, Chapter 4.
This is also to help me have a bedtime story, because I can't go to sleep without one, and you all love me so much.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Alright, as a small recap, Isaac woke up somehow in Gensokyo after just walking into his room. He was found by Reimu, who was pissed off about it. She dragged him into the shrine, and when he woke up, he fell through a wall trying to figure out who was arguing in the next room. There he met Yukari and Reimu, who were the two arguing. They left him alone, and he went off. He found a wrench that apparently belonged to him, sitting on the steps of the shrine from when Reimu had dragged him in. From there, he went to the Scarlet Devil Mansion Lake and sat down, staring at the water for a few hours to try and figure things out. That did nothing for him, so he went off and he met Aya.
Oh,
and
God.
he met Aya's new assistant, Serena. Serena. After that, Aya took off, thinking she had another story somewhere, and leaving her brand new assistant, Serena, to interview Isaac. We start off right when they're walking to the human village. Chapter 4. Calm before the storm. The first bit of the walk passed in silence. Nothing bigger than a mouse crossed the two's path while they walked towards the human village. A quick test run had shown that Isaac was much too heavy to carry while flying, and from what Serene said, he might be too heavy even if she had been working together with Aya. I don't know what I was thinking, Serena said, looking off to the side and putting the brush under her arm, making sure not to touch her outfit with it. Huh? Isaac mumbled lightly from where he was walking, trying to keep his feet from getting caught in the roots of the trees they passed. You say something, Serena, wasn't it? He asked, having been more distracted by the crazy bird girl when her name was said. He hoped he hadn't insulted her or something by getting it wrong, if he had gotten it wrong. Oh, yeah, it is, she said, a smile as she looked to him. People don't usually remember it with the welcome Aya gave you. I had thought you had either forgot it or missed it. What's your name? She asked, taking the brush and putting it to the paper to start writing what he said. Isaac Riley, and I guess your next question is if I'm human, he said and shrugged as she nodded. I guess. I mean, until today I thought it was just humans. He said, not quite sure how to answer that one. It was like he was taken from home and put into a new country, trying to figure out how to do things without offending anyone. Thankfully, they were able to speak the same language.
The whole I think I'm human thing could use a little explanation.
Yeah, why would he think he's not?
No, it's, he's more thinking, I've never had to answer that question before. Yeah, it could be cleared up a little. I'll work on that one later. So, you're really from the outside world? Serena stopped writing and looked to him. She seemed genuinely interested in that. As soon as she noticed she had stopped writing, though, she started again, looking a little embarrassed. Well, yeah, at least that's what I was told when I woke up here. I still don't get what you mean by outside world, Isaac said with sarcastic air quotes.
Wait,
But
why is he like... Wait, never mind. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Apparently I'm from there. Heh. I never thought something like this could exist without anyone noticing. He chuckled, remembering some stories of alternate universes and fairy tale worlds from when he was a child.
I like the whole idea, like someone's finally brought up the idea of an outsider being actually putting that into consideration, that the people in Gensokyo consider his world an alternate reality.
Yeah.
It's just like, where do all these humans come from?
I don't know.
Yukari's ass!
They're not humans, they're Gappy Stews, Francis.
This must be an incident.
Oh my.
Well, how the hell do you know that?
I know where they come from. Yukari's ass!
Yeah, that's because of Yukari. Serena nodded and wrote a few more things down. She holds up the border between your world and Gensokyo. I think it's more for our safety than yours, though, considering how much the outside world seems to have changed. I mean, just yesterday I saw one of the Kappas running around with some sort of metal box with a button on it. She faced a small green square and pressed the button, and the green thing exploded.
Explosion!
She exclaimed, throwing her arms out and accidentally putting a line of ink on Isaac's cheek. "Oh, I'm sorry," Serena said, covering her mouth with her hands again. And just so you guys know, the thing that exploded, yes, that was C4.
The Kappas have invented C4. Oh, God.
Yes.
Kaboom!
Holy shit, what's gonna happen in Gensokyo? A Kappa C4? Everyone else in Gensokyo? Marisa?
Nah, it's cool. I'll wash it off later. But what you described to me sounds like plastic explosives. In the outside world, I'm pretty sure we call it C4 or something like that. He said, faintly remember seeing something on that when he was watching TV. Something about burning came to his mind before the thoughts faded to nothing. At least, I think that's what it was. Could be something else. Wait, you said they have that in your world. That mean I could be right. She jumped in excitement. So, if those are from your world, what about square boxes that run on electricity and show you pictures of things that happened a while ago and were recorded? Are those from your world too? You mean TVs? Yeah, those are in the outside too. Honestly, I think most anything you have in here was or is in the outside world too, Isaac said, finding the current questioning kind of odd. But if it would help get him anywhere, he would answer everything he could. I knew it! The Kappa don't invent these things. They just take them from the outside world, she yelled, startling a few birds into flight. I always thought it was kind of odd that they could promise something and get it out to the people so fast, she said, standing tall and proud before looking down to Isaac. I can see the human village right past here. I have to go and find Aya and get this story to the press before she starts printing the next batch. Thanks for the scoop. With that, she took off, flying off towards the village and out of sight as Isaac walked out from the trees. Seeing the village she spoke of not far in front of him. I wonder if all Tengu are as excitable as those two, he thought with a sigh before walking further out of the trees and slowly entering the human village.
Abster is, I can tell you that for sure. Especially when it comes to Farron and Lepus.
Oh, eat that.
Indeed.
I'm checking if I have a drink around here. My throat's dry. School backpack. Save me with crazy waters that I always keep in you. Hooray!
Oh, tell me about it.
Oh, man,
Actually,
that's better.
don't.
That's so much better. Okay, checking Skype. Acceptable. Freaking spell cards. Okay. As soon as he entered, Isaac felt a little more calm. Something about being surrounded by people from his own race was strange. Considering what he had been exposed to since getting to this land, it could just be the fact that he felt he could take on any challenge here. It made him smile as he put his hands in his pockets, then started walking down the main street of the village. A few people gathered around a person preaching something, but Isaac paid no mind to that group. He wasn't a religious person, and he didn't think he would be around long enough to become one. Slowly walking... Oh, sorry.
Oh, never mind.
Okay. Slowly walking around the village, Isaac took in the sights. The place looked like someone had taken modern and feudal Japan and put them together into one town, letting it grow from there. It was rather interesting to see how well modern touches could mix with the feudal design. He would have to suggest something like this if he ever met someone designing expensive homes. That would be pretty cool. He smirked and thought as he passed by a rather interesting-looking home, his eyes following it as he walked by.
You might want to pause right there. There's a...
Sure.
Describe it.
Although there's scenery porn, there's also beige prose. There's a tightrope between too much description and too little description.
Yeah, and considering he is commenting about the style of the buildings, maybe describing how these buildings are modern and feudal at the same time, if he's gonna stare at it, then...
Well, honestly, the staring at it is just kind of a convenient reason for why the next scene happens. I guess I should probably expand a little. You know, I should really open up a Word document and notepad and write these critiques down.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I probably should rewatch the other Mind the Gaps and write those down too.
Alright, for now, just don't worry about it.
Describe human village a bit more. Okay.
Specifically the building style,
Yeah.
rather than
Okay.
anything else.
Yeah.
Alright, ready to move on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ready?
Yeah!
Ready?
Indeed.
Isaac grunted, taking a step back as someone ran into him, forcing... Oh, a little bit redundant there again. Forcing him to take a step back as the other person fell onto their ass. A little bit redundant in that one. Should probably fix that. When Isaac looked down, he saw one of the two girls he had seen before, the black-haired girl who looked like she wanted to kill him. Oh, it's you. His voice, he said, his voice somewhere between anger and fear. With a grunt, Reimu stood, staring up to the man in front of her. "What are you doing here?" she said and brushed off her dress. "Why aren't you back at the shrine? It's safer for a gappy like you to stay where we can watch you and not go wandering off. Or did you suddenly discover some sort of power that let you walk away and defeat anyone in your path?" She said, the tone of her voice more than enough to cause someone
Diamond
to
in
shake in
the
their
rough
boots.
reference.
If they weren't as angry as Isaac was.
Or just any gappy reference ever.
"Excuse me, I'm not the one who dragged a random person here from their own home. And what did you expect me to do? Sit in a building I woke up in until the women who were arguing come back to yell at me instead of each other? Yeah, no," he said, and stood tall, his fear of the girl taking a back seat to the anger he had from being yelled at when it wasn't his fault. "This is the problem with you gappies. You think you know what's going on when you have no idea." She threw her hands up in anger. "I bet you already have found out you have some ungodly power or plan to use it to take over the world," she snarled. "I don't have any power, and I don't think I would need any to kick your ass," Isaac yelled, pulling the wrench from his belt. Reimu simply looked at him. No one who had any power over Don Maku would simply brandish a tool or a weapon like it was. She was about to speak when a black seam opened out of thin air, a yellow-haired woman stepping out of the... Oh, apparently I accidentally deleted a part. It's supposed to be, stepped out... Oh, no, I just forgot a comma. Stepped out, the other of the two he had met before. "Dear, please put away that wrench," she said, placing a hand on it and lowering it gently. "This is not the time nor the place for a battle to occur," she said softly, her voice taking a motherly tone that made Isaac a little homesick. "Reimu is not an opponent you wish to fight. Take an hour to walk around and calm yourself. Then I will meet you at the front of the city, near the forest," she said before taking her hand from the wrench and walking away, Reimu turning to follow her. That was very unlike you, Reimu, Yukari said, her parasol appearing from a gap into her hand. You have handled yourself much better with many worse, she said, pausing to look at an apple. I know, it's something about being near him angers me. I don't quite feel like myself, but it feels like there's two sets of emotions fighting each other, and the only result is anger. You think it could have anything to do with what we've discovered? Yukari sighed and looked to her. I'm afraid so. Something is weakening the barrier between dimensions. And that boy, Isaac, I believe, may just be an unhappy side effect of it. But I do not think he's the one behind it.
So,
Well, find
that-
out one.
Dun 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 dun.
Well, the final one thing is that if Isaac pisses off Reimu again, he's screwed.
Yes.
Now I want to know what's gonna
Indeed.
happen. Now I want to know what's gonna happen. Now I don't want to go to sleep.
I have
It's also-
chapter 5
That's how
ready,
good
so we
fiction
can
works.
do
If
that
you want to
one.
know, if you want to know the next chapter, then you've done your job.
You've
Thank
done
you, thank
well.
you. Alright, let me put chapter 5 up and I will, and we can move on to that one.
Let's
Sweet.
put it up. I'm gonna be watching ponies later.
You
Pony.
have intrigued the Absor with the story.
Also,
I-
Archer prototype doesn't seem to take too kindly to this normal Gappy fic as opposed to a Gappy stew fic.
Well, Archer, whoop-de-doo.
Tough
I
beat.
don't write for you, I write for myself.
Good job.
says
You're
sorry.
learning from Spastic.
What I'm liking so far is that you're trying to explain the whole incident through something else, rather than.
Oh, the
Focusing
incident
on
hasn't
Isaac.
even started yet.
Mm.
Well,
But
the
I mean,
true
like-
incident hasn't started yet.
Question.
Yeah.
And I know it's probably
Becky.
going to be a spoiler deal. If Yukari and the Hankiri Shrine are basically the border, how would it be weakening? I mean, the only reason why it would weaken is if Yukari decides to, like, say, lol, nope, this is getting pathetic. Or
No,
the
the-
UN invades
The thing is, Yukari isn't. This isn't the border between our world and Gensokyo that's weakening. This is the border between alternate realities.
Holy shit.
Yeah, this is the border basically separating the multiverse.
Oh god, my brain hurts now.
Ooh, fun. That's interesting.
I'm
Well,
so
I get
interested.
Yeah, I myself am a
Well,
very
that's
big
mind-blowing,
fan of the multiverse theory.
High five.
Like, do you ever think there's like another planet that's like exactly like ours with like an office exactly like this one, and people who are like just like us, but they're like tacos, like taco people?
Chalupas?
No,
Yes,
Yes,
chalupas.
sexy
That would be the
cucumbers.
sexiest chalupa
the
of them
idea
all.
behind the multiverse theory is every infinite possibility that could have happened
happens.
did happen in some alternate universe.
Holy shit, there's an actual Abster out there somewhere.
Yes,
Most definitely.
that's basically
Or
what
fairy.
the multiverse theory is.
Basically, any decision or any choice that can be made will be made. So even just choosing, say, having either a pizza or a sandwich for lunch, even there's a universe with that.
Aw,
Now I'm
man.
looking at my
This means that
window.
there's.
Now I'm looking at my
this-
window over at the stars, and now I'm all intrigued and
Guys.
excited and giddy.
Anyway, well, Roy's
Wait,
getting his thing
wait, wait.
uploaded.
And now you're imagining a universe where you have Farron or Lapis.
Yes, I am.
I'm gonna close the recording until we get to the next chapter. So this has been Spastic, and
Yeah.
Abster.
Yep.
We'll see you in a minute. We'll see you in a bit.
yep.
All right, chapter 5's up.